Hi, Blake. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm
Good. How are
good.
you?
Good, good. Well, welcome to Just Wing It with Blake and Jamie.
Good to see everybody. Glad everyone is here on this beautiful Wednesday. I finally made it right on time this time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Didn't miss anything. So I have to shout out real quick. I started a new TV series. It's called Snowfall. It's been out for a while. If you haven't seen it, you should really see it. It's so good. Oh my goodness. Snowfall. Really good. Everybody check it out. It's a FX one. It's on Hulu. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, it's really good. 6 seasons of it too, and I just finished the first episode of the second season, and I'm stuck. I don't want to do anything else but watch that show. So
Hi, Paprika and Ken. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. So, what did everyone eat today?
I had steak and a baked potato and a Subway for lunch.
I had Chef Boyardee beef
Oh man,
ravioli. Beef ravioli.
those little they take like what 45 seconds to warm up.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, that's funny. I
Hi,
like them.
Lily.
They're pretty good. I like the
Yeah.
beefaroni though. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, that's what this one is. Yeah. Hi, Lily. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, Ken thought today was his last physical therapy appointment and they extended him another week. He was so mad.
Oh man.
He was supposed to be done like 2 weeks ago and they keep extending him another week. But
Well, I mean, at least they're making sure he's right, you know. At least that's it's a good
yeah,
thing they're doing that. So,
Ken says he had venison goulash. Ooh, that looks sounds so yummy. I'm so jealous. And here I'm over
goulash.
here having beef ravioli.
Eating eating scraplings.
Yum. I want some of
What
your venison goulash, Ken.
feasting like peasants out here and you're living like a king, Ken.
I know, right? Oh, look at your
That's
puppy,
funny. This is Lucy. Lucy
Lucy.
is just she's
She
like, "Hey, just pet me." She
she
didn't
wants to
even
be
know
in
what's
the
going
camera
on.
today. She's like, I want to be in the
Ah.
spotlight.
She pretty girl. Yeah, she got long flappy ears. Anyway, how was your day? How was work?
uh, it was stressful today because so they built this new tower and today was moving day, so we had to move all the patients from the old tower to the new tower. So it was a lot of work, but it was good.
I would have I don't like a lot of like especially days whenever we're moving and transitioning. I get really frustrated easily. It doesn't take much to tilt me whenever I'm trying to do something and something's like moderately inconveniencing me. I no.
Yeah. Hi, Dee Dee. Thanks for coming in. Oh, your screen is frozen, Paprika. Is it just you? Anybody else? It's the screen frozen?
Not for me. I'm good.
No. Yeah, you look fine to me.
Yeah.
Maybe you might have to go in and out or something, maybe, Paprika?
I wonder
Yeah, so I was obviously there to help move, but also there from a patient safety standpoint to make sure, like, everything goes well with the move and all that's good stuff. So, and it went
it's
really
moving
well.
day. It's moving
Yeah.
day. Did they
Yeah.
did they get charged for their ride?
Nope, it was all free on us.
Good. Good. It better been. I would have been pissed. I'd been like, I didn't choose to move. I didn't choose to get sick during your move.
Yeah. So, but it's a beautiful tower that they built. So, at
What they
least,
should have done is had the building ready and then started taking in new patients there, but not taking any old ones from where you are now. You know what I mean?
well, it was. it's hard to do that when, like, in this area, it's
Oh,
the
well,
only hospital, and
yeah, your
it's just,
staff would be slimmed down pretty thin, huh?
yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of hard to say,
I
okay,
didn't really think of that.
yeah. Jimmy took all the little
My
boxes.
bad.
Hey, now, be nice, Ken Yeager.
Oh, that's funny. Well, are you done moving? Is it all over?
Yeah, we moved everybody over, so
Good.
they opened the incident command at like 4 a.m. So it's been a long day. I didn't have to go in at 4, thank goodness, but I did go in earlier than I normally do. But I was like,
What
I'm
about
not.
today? Are you gonna go in regular time?
Yeah, because it's pretty much moved. I mean, they'll probably keep incident command open for tomorrow just in case, but I'm not going in early tomorrow. So, oh, you went back in? Okay. I hope that works, Paprika, if you restart your phone. Sometimes I have to restart my phone because my phone acts up.
My phone is so old. I just the other day I broke it. I can't remember how I did it. Uh, I just dropped it on its face in the kitchen is what happened, and the screen went black. It wouldn't work anymore, so I had to go get it replaced. And
Uh,
that's like the fourth time I've had to replace the screen on this phone. That's just,
oh,
man,
maybe it's time to
crazy.
upgrade.
I know, I agree. You're not wrong, but dang, they're so expensive.
Alrighty, you guys, are you ready to talk about the Green Mile?
Green
Over
Mile.
3 hour movie.
I love it. Every
I do.
single hour of it. I don't care that it was. This is one of those very few films that time just it locks me in.
Yeah.
Every single minute I'm involved. I love it all. It's a great, great movie.
Yes.
I think towards the end, you could have. I guess your ending point could have been right at uh like Leon's, or I mean at John Coffey's execution. I've thought about this too. I was like, where is a shortening point for this? And I felt like John Coffey's execution could have been an ending point for the movie, and then just did like, this is what happened after that type of thing,
Yeah.
or ended, or the actual, you stopped right there. That was the end of the story, and then it takes you back to him as an old man, and it just finishes out with that segment right there when he shows her the he shows her Mr. Jingles, and the at the very end, and then she dies and all that. I mean, it goes all the way up, and it just finishes on Mr. Jingles. And whenever he dies, I felt like that's when you realize that uh uh Edgecombe, Paul, thank you. I'm sorry. When I think that's when Paul died, when Mr. Jingles did right there at the end.
Ken says, yeah, this movie could have been 5 hours and still been great. Um, it was a good movie. I give it a 4 out of 4. But
5 out of 4. Shoot.
yeah,
Heck, it was great. It's just one for hope, uh, reconciliation, forgiveness. Uh, I guess healing is probably another good word too. There's just a lot about this, but I mean, it's not about. In the end, ultimately, it's about we're born, we live, and we die, and then something extraordinary happens within that time frame. I don't know. It was a great story. I loved it.
yeah. And Ken says the old folks' home reminds you this is all a memory, not a home movie. Yes. So based off of how it ended, I saw, and I didn't watch the trailer. I maybe should have, but it looks like on YouTube that there's a trailer for the Green Mile 2 now. So how do you think they're gonna play off a sequel to this? I didn't see the trailer,
I don't
so
know if I'm too intrigued on that, and I don't know, it would take a big force for me to see it, I think, because it would maybe it's just a recreation a new adaptation of it,
I have no clue.
possibly.
Well, when it says the Green Mile 2, you think it'd be a sequel from it, but like in the movie, like Ken said, it starts off with it's a memory. He's telling a memory,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the key players died, and
Yeah.
you know, and then even Piercy, it when John Coffey is executed, he puts all the cancer they took out of that guy's wife and puts it in
Mm-hmm.
him, which is like a little bit of the karma stuff, right? And for being a bad person. But I don't know. How do you think?
Well, ultimately, this is the moral of the story is he his punishment in life is watching for his punishment for sending John Coffey on the electric chair is a long life that he surpasses all of his friends, his family, his wife, his colleagues, and all he was left with was Mr. Jingles for the rest of his life. And it, it it's really amazing to me. I I think that that's a fair punishment, but I mean, at the same time, John asked not to do it. He said, "You remember the conversation?" He said, he asked him what he should do. Should I just let you go? Just run free? See how far you can get? He said, when I, on the day of my judgment, uh, what am I to tell him? And he said, tell him it was an act of kindness you did. Because he saw all the things that were happening in the world just through his head, and he could see into the future. Remember, he
Mhm.
told him to be careful whenever Wild Bill was coming in, or he maybe he didn't see into the future, but he anticipated something bad would happen, at least. Uh, I don't know. I think the best things in our world are good people, yet to them the world is hollow. Does that make sense? I feel like the best people in the world find it hollow, find
Yeah,
the world itself hollow. And it makes them sad to even be there. So although I don't know, I'm trying not to get too into one way religion because pray to who you pray to as fitting as you see. uh,
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
just
And Ken
yeah.
says, I think this movie strikes on people who can still be good after being bad, and action doesn't define you. There are so many aspects of this movie to take away, and so many are incomprehensible to unpack in a podcast. We need more time.
Agreed, Ken. I mean, we don't. This is one that I I wish we didn't have to sit here and put into just a time frame. I mean, we're already 15 minutes into this pod. We've already spent one fourth of it just talking about how we feel about it. But I man, there is a lot. There's a religious aspect. There's miracle, revival. There's just a lot. I wish we could break them down. I would like to see how many different pieces of this movie make into one. I mean, it's
Well,
just
and not to forget, this movie was based in like around the 20s or 30s, and
it was right it was during the Depression, I believe. Or
so
right, yeah,
and
right
this was
before it.
the era that um white people could blame somebody for what they've done. And so because it looked like John Coffey did that and he couldn't save the girls, he got blamed just because of his color. And
And
back
being there
then,
on the
eh,
scene.
yeah, and back then there's no DNA. And they believed the white people over the, African Americans, and it's like that's not right. They treated them. That's the era where they treated them horrible, and
And
um,
see, I
that's not
wonder,
good.
that's a part of the movie that I would have liked to seen is how his trial went. You know, was he tried like they say God was or Jesus was in the Bible, if you see that,
Yeah,
that's another part of this movie that they could have added on to. Like Ken said, it totally could have been like a two-segment movie where you
and
had to unfold it like that. But
well,
man,
remember about, I don't know if it's the same time as this movie came out. No, it was way before.
this
But
was 97, I believe.
To Kill a Mockingbird was
Oh yeah.
all about that.
Mm-hmm.
That uh, people were getting blamed just based off their color, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
believe a white person over anybody else, and that's not right.
Have
I'm
you seen that
glad.
movie Mississippi Burning?
No,
Oh wow, that's really good. It's got William Dafoe in it. Uh, and what's his name? He played in Hoosier, the movie about the basketball team.
yeah, I remember that movie.
That
I don't
that guy.
remember.
That you need to watch it. It's a really good movie. It's called Mississippi Burning.
Okay.
And that
Yeah.
I would love for us to do a review on that. That's a total rewatchable. It's a good movie about uh justice for the civil rights cause, which I'm a big supporter in,
Yeah.
100%.
I'm glad things changed big time on how we treat people. I mean, we need to be like at the end of every one of my videos lately, I've been saying, my thing is don't wake up and choose violence, choose kindness. And that's what we need more in this world, because look at this world. Really, you're
Yeah,
going to be mean to people for no
I don't
reason?
care what the media tells you. I think that the common person in America is no more less or more equal than the other. Or I mean, that's what I mean. Aside from your wealth, I mean, there's nothing holding you back personally from becoming great. No one's trying to stop you based on your race anymore. And that's a really good thing. I like that.
Well, and I just because like somebody might make more money than you doesn't mean you're better than that person or whatever. And yeah, you might have more money and you might be able to buy more things, but that doesn't make you a better person. And
No,
I
that's
think,
just indistinctively the thing that we as people use to distinguish ourselves from one another.
yeah, and
It's not even out of malice. It's just it's one of the first things that you think about is you wonder how much money they make. It's just I
yeah,
mean, you really do, and it's not even a malicious thing. I hate that it sounds like that, but it shouldn't be. It's just how it is, and
yeah. I mean, there's so many people that think they are so rich that they can do whatever
mhm.
they want. They're above the law and they're above whatever, and it's just sickening.
Just money to throw away. It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, Ken says, I don't think any character in this film was misplaced. All stellar actors in the part they played all connect the corners of the box. Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
this was my first uh on-screen the first thing that I really remember watching Tom Hanks on a movie. I don't really recall because this movie came out the year I was born, so it was super massive at the time, and I remember just growing up and this movie being on TNT, AMC, had it on DVD at the house, at my grandfather's house. I watched it constantly on a loop. I loved it. It was a great movie. And 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 that's what that this one hits every aspect of rewatchable. You know,
Mhm.
you could sit down at any point in this movie and get locked into it because everything is just it you melt into all these characters and who they are and poor old Dale. Oh my God, he's my favorite character in the whole movie. You know, I don't I would like to find out exactly what the writers said he was in there for, what he did. Uh, but I'm sure it says something in the screenplay about
It-
what he was
Well, since
there
they
for.
were all on death row, it had to have been murder, right?
It could have been rape. It could have been things like that. You know, it could have been even worse. That's what Wild Bill was there for. He raped and killed a pregnant lady.
Well, but I
Like
mean,
that's
like,
the one that actually caught him, but then you see how the everything weaves together, of course.
eh, yeah, but I think, I mean, even rape, I mean, trust me, I don't think I think that's a horrible crime as well. But I think even back then, the only way you're gonna get executed is for murder, right?
I don't believe so. I believe back then rape was a far more like you got a way bigger penalty back then. I could be wrong, but I believe that, you know, that there was something about the respect over women that has always been a thing, you know, and I mean, of course, in recent years that's depreciated some, but I would say there's always honor behind the woman and children, you know, they don't harm people like that, and that just
Yeah,
was,
I guess that's true. So I just
I
assumed
would
it
see
was
the
all
opposite.
murder. Yeah, I just
No, no.
assumed all of them were in for murder since
But
they were
let's
on death
find out.
row.
I'm curious to. I want to know. So
Yeah, Ken says every character has a story that gets you to think and understand the tribulations of them. Yeah, and that's the whole point of a movie, right? Is to like try to get you to see
and
their
then and then and then
life
and
or
then
whatever.
and then to think like also at the beginning about uh uh whatever the Navi the Indian guy Bittabak or whatever his last name was, the first guy that you see get executed.
Oh, gee, for what R word? I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Oh, R-A, oh, we can't say the R-A-P-E.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, sorry. Well,
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Thank you, G for so
um, hold on. What was
so what happens, G for do I need to like edit that out or I don't even know how to edit a live.
you can after it's over? We'll just go through it and reverberate.
And
What
welcome, G for thanks
was?
for coming in. Oh, say violated. Okay, thank you so much, G for YouTube is
Sorry, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to be quiet.
no no it's all right.
He was. Oh, he was incarcerated there. He was convicted for that word we can't say, and murder for a a a young lady. That's just what they say. But it never says anything about what he did in in the movie. They never. I think that
Yeah,
but that's a good thing though. They didn't want you to just automatically hate this man. I think
yeah,
they wanted to. Obviously, he was there and he did something awful. He was on death row. You got that much, but then you learn the character and he doesn't have total hate in his heart. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So and to love a little character like him, Mr. Jingles.
yeah. And Ken says, remember, he said, I am sorry for who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes you, it pulls at your heartstrings on both sides. It's like, okay, if you're the family member of the victim, you're gonna obviously hate that person. But then they give you this side and how they are, and they show, at least the people that show remorse, it's like it tries to pull at your heartstring. Not that it
Mm-hmm.
makes it any better, but like John Coffey though was innocent, and
And you don't know that at the beginning though. You don't know that
no,
until
no, you don't.
you don't find that out until he grabs he grabs Tom or Paul's hand and he says, "I've got to show you, boss. I've got to show you what happens." And this is after he Percy. Oh, I hate him. I cannot stand him. He was the the true villain of the whole thing. You step on Mr. Jiggles, I'm put him up, man. I just did not.
I
We'll
know, and
fight
then he
like that.
and then he hurts them, um and that was just mean. That was just rude. I mean, he didn't have to hurt his mouse.
He
That was
did
his
that out of
friend.
hate. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then before that, he even played it off like he was like, we'll get him a cigar box with some cotton and all kinds of stuff, saying he was trying to be helpful, and then just to go and step on him like that.
Yeah, and I mean,
Uh,
Tom Hanks was the good guard, and
he was a really good character. I mean,
yeah,
and by that I mean he did really good in making us hate him. Did he not? I mean, he really did. So
yeah.
great acting. He did a
Oh,
perfect job in
absolutely.
that
And
sense.
the fact that he after John Coffey fixed him and his urine stuff and all that, and the pain,
Yeah,
he
he had a UTI.
yeah, and thank you, Dr. Blake. But yeah, it was like, I think he had a whole different perspective, is obviously. I mean, he fixed him, but
hmm
he was by far a lot better than, yeah, Ken says, than Percy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really learning G4. I'm definitely still learning on what you can and cannot say on YouTube. You think by
Mm.
now, after 3 years, I would know a little bit more, but I don't.
Wow. IMDb considers this movie a tragedy, a crime, drama, fantasy, mystery, supernatural fantasy, prison drama.
Oh, G4, it was the Green Mile with Tom Hanks and what was John Coffey's real name? And rest in peace, by the way, because
Yes, he died. He was also in a couple of other movies.
he, oh my gosh,
Michael Duncan. Michael
that's it.
Duncan.
He's such a great actor. He did such a great job in this movie. I was so sad when I heard that he did die, and that just goes to show you that. Um,
This was written by Stephen King, by the way. It was
really,
helped written. Yeah, Stephen King and uh, the director. that did it. What is his name? Hold on, it's right here somewhere.
Yes, G-Fo. I love that movie too. I give it a 4 out of 4.
Frank Darabont.
It's the other director.
Yeah.
Oh,
What movie? What movie are you talking about?
it was Green Mile.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
we're I'm sorry. You must have not been here for the rating. We went through that one obvious for.
Yeah.
That wasn't hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, what a cast. You had some really, really stone cold. Edouard Delacroix was his name, and his real name was Michael Jeter.
Yeah. I don't know any of the big ones in there other than John Coffey, which was Michael Duncan, and Tom Hanks. Are the only
Well,
two that I
you
think I know.
remember Dean, the one that was getting choked out by Wild Bill?
Yeah.
He was the sniper in Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, same guy.
Yeah, it's amazing how long that mouse had lived to be. Yeah, until Percy killed it. Poor mouse.
Poor mouse. Oh, and I'm sorry. This did not come out in 97. It came out in 99.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was just barely growing up, and this movie was brand new. I remember my mom wanting me to watch this movie when I was a kid. Like it's something that she encouraged of me, and it was rated R. So,
Yeah.
I was like, heck yeah, 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 yeah. Let's watch it. So it was like
Oh,
it just because it was like that, it had that adult theme to it as a kid. It
yeah.
became really close to my heart, and it was an affinity. It was something that I enjoyed getting because it was a big kid movie that my mom okayed me to watch. And so
Well,
I
it
was
teaches you a lot of lessons in it. It the storyline is just great, and it's it's sad too. You
yeah.
know, like how. Yeah, I cried at this movie.
I never really understood how much it meant until I probably watched it again when I was uh like 20, 21 or something, and it just felt different. It had been a long time since I had seen it, and then I actually sat down and watched it again, and just it I had a lot happen in my life up to that point, and it just it reaffirmed everything I felt about it as a kid.
Yeah, didn't oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. Um, did after Percy killed the mouse, didn't John Coffey revive it just to
Mhm.
because of Percy? But then did it something at the end happen at the end with the
Um,
mouse even after John Coffey saved it?
no, no, so after he saved him, John was holding him in his hand whenever he got executed. And then he lets him go, and he said he ran off. Don't think he'll be back anytime soon. And he does. You don't see uh Mr. Jingles again until he just walks up on him at the very last scene of the whole movie, I believe. Or his flashback is him, "Hey, Mr. Jingles, I didn't think I'd see you again." You remember that?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And I'm wondering if that's where if the mouse is gonna be in part two, the sequel.
But I thought that was the thing right there at the end. He closed the mouse closed his eyes, and I felt like that is the same time that, but not all that was his gift. That was
Mm.
Paul's gift. That was the one thing he got to keep was Mr. Jingles. Though he was cursed with a long life, had to watch all his friends and everybody die because he had executed John Coffey. what he had Mr. Jingles that whole time.
Hmm. Yeah, and oh yeah, the mouse lived just another 60 years. Yeah. Well,
And then he died. The mouse finally died whenever he died, because you see him at the very end. You see Mr. Jingles in his little thing that he made in that shack for him, and he's just laying there dead, and he died.
well, he had a good life for a mouse.
Sure did. Long, long life.
Probably the best life that any mouse has ever had.
I can guarantee his little bones and arms hurt all the time. Poor little feller. Oh,
Yeah. Okay, let's do the IMDb. If you haven't
sure,
rated it
sure.
in the chat, rate the movie in the chat.
Drop your rating real quick, please. Please. Let's see what we got. This is a book that he wrote that was Stephen King's book in 1996. It was released
Oh wow,
originally. Yeah,
and they made a movie only 3 years later. That's pretty fast
yeah,
from a book to a movie. Yeah,
yeah, really.
Alyssa says a 5. G-Full says 5.
Yeah, that's literally what I said. I said 5 out of 4. It's
Yeah,
so good.
yeah. It was it was um it was a great movie.
Absolutely. Okay, release date December 10th, 1999. Filming locations Tennessee State Penitentiary in Nashville.
Really?
Yes, ma'am,
Hmm.
that's what it says. The budget was $60 million. Gross or opening weekend, it made 18 million,
That's
and
it.
worldwide it made $286 million. So it
Wow.
it, it, it almost quadrupled the budget of the movie. It's insane.
I figured it would have done better opening weekend though. That was a great movie.
Yeah, I don't I think it's because it's a book, nobody really knew, like, you didn't have any prior, or like there was no most movies that are really big, they have a runoff or a spin-off of it or something, you know. And
Yeah.
this just was just a book that they were hoping would be good.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking up, I'm trying to find our trivia line here. Uh, According to one of the featurettes on the DVD, Stephen King calls this film the single most faithful adaptation of his work. Wow.
Wow. It is a very deep movie, G-Full, yes.
Let's talk about that. What is it? What do you get out of it? What does the movie mean to you?
Um, I think it's, looking at all the emotional side, even though, like, because when you think of someone who's in jail for bad things, you want to hate them, but the movie tries to get you to like them and understand them, and then feel sorry for them when, like, Mr. Jingles, when the warden is mean to him, or executes someone without the water on their head, so it makes it even worse because in in their mind he was not, and I mean some of them finally found out he was innocent, but if
Mm-hmm.
not everybody, you don't know if they're innocent or not, and but yet, so why would you want to have that compassion for somebody, right, that committed a horrible crime, but you you feel like horrible that Percy would do such an awful job to kill someone, like a horrible, not, I mean, if you're gonna, okay, I get if you committed that crime and this was your sentence, but do you have to make it worse by not putting water on the sponge? I mean, make it, You had to make it even worse. I mean,
I don't know what he was doing there. I think he just wanted to see what would happen, and just curiosity turned into just blatant disrespect. I don't know. I understand what you're saying there. I think the moral of the story is that a long life is like a prison sentence, and the ones that are lucky are the ones that go to God's greener pasture at a younger age. That's what I think.
yeah. Yes, if they still do it anywhere today, that is, yeah. I think they do, or maybe I don't. I really don't know, Jivo. I don't know if they do executions like that. If
Yes,
they
in
do have
Texas,
this,
they you can still be hanged in Texas.
really, I
Hmm.
I thought if the states that do executions is more lethal injections.
You can still die by electric chair here in Texas.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. I believe Georgia too.
Oh, I have no clue. I would not know. I know some.
Florida is just lethal injection if I'm not mistaken.
I think that has four execution methods. What, Georgia, Ken? Has four execution methods?
Wow. And you can die by firing squad too. You can still die by firing squad. And
In Texas?
the crazy thing is, so whenever you if
Oh,
you
in
were to
Utah.
if you were to die by firing squad, um there are, I believe there are 13 people that shoot at you, and
So,
only and I think only two of them are live rounds, two or three of them, and the rest of them are blanks. And then they hand out the rifles randomly, so you don't
yeah.
know.
And I think, doesn't that, like, so they don't even know who actually shot him, right?
Right, right. You're not putting your life on one single person. So
And then they don't have to go away feeling, I guess, as guilty, I guess.
you'll never know if it was you or not.
No, I'm sure it's not many states, G full. It sounds like Texas is one, but I don't know about any other
Oh
state. I
yeah,
don't know
Texas
about other
doesn't play.
states.
They'll do
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, the good thing nowadays, if there's a good thing to this type of thing, but is with all the DNA and the technology, I'm sure it's pretty close. And you have to go to trial, and it's almost like, okay, we know this person's
Beyond
guilty.
a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and not back then where it's like, okay, you look guilty and I'm blaming you and there's no way to get out of it, because like in the movie, because he was with the girls, and the the guy thought he could just blame him, because he was with the
Hmm.
girls.
Yeah.
So,
I get it. I get it. um, Many times the actors are looking at a laser pointing at the floor and not an actual mouse. Hmm. 15 mice were used in the movie. Each spent months being trained to do different tricks.
isn't that weird how you can actually train a mouse?
Yeah, yeah. At around 1 hours and 35 minutes, ha Tom Hanks wasn't pretending to wipe his jacket. The mouse really defecated on him in the scene.
Ew.
Yeah, gross. As accepting, Tom Hanks accepted the role of Paul Edgecombe as a favor to Frank Darabont after he was forced to turn down the role of Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption in order to play the title role in Forrest Gump. How about that?
Wow. I wonder because Shawshank Redemption was amazing, but so was Forrest
I
Gump.
could
I wonder.
totally see him being Andy Dufresne too. I feel like he would have been a better fit for that movie. He would have been a it was obviously casted for him. So that
What movie do you
wow.
think is more popular that maybe he should have done? Do you think it was a good move to do Forrest Gump, or would it have been better to do Shawshank Redemption? Because I like Shawshank
No,
Redemption better than
no. Like I said before, the Shawshank wasn't really directed at one audience because it's set in an older time frame than Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump was a movie for baby boomers specifically and their lifetime.
hmm
And the Shawshank Redemption was just a story of uh
Prison Break.
entertain. Right.
Yes,
And it was so
Chico.
good too. It was so good. Has he ever worked with Morgan Freeman before? Can you think of any movie that he's done with?
No.
There's got to be something he's done with Morgan Freeman. That we were robbed of Tom Hanks and Morgan Freeman in Shawshank then, because
Yeah, but I think the guy who played Andy Dufresne was
Oh,
amazing.
he
He
did
did
great. I don't
great.
want to take anything from him, but looking and putting Tom Hanks' feet into that role, I see it all day. I see it all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Chico. I loved Shawshank Redemption too. It's one of
me
my favorite
too.
movies, and a lot of good things in The Green Mile. Two great movies. Morgan Freeman's one of my favorite actors, and I am so sad that he's getting old because who knows when his time will be. And
Yeah.
he's such an amazing actor. Wish that he could do more, but man, he also needs to retire and live his and enjoy life too.
um, Coffee's bed was built shorter in order to make him look like a giant. How about that? Go back and watch the movie again. Look at that.
Isn't he really tall in real life when he was alive? Isn't
Yeah,
he
he was a big guy. He was really tall, but I mean, just to emphasize it, I guess.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. The director called this the most satisfying movie of his career.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks treated the entire crew to a meal every Friday night on set.
Wow.
Uh, the reason Stephen King serialized The Green Mile was a deliberate response to fans who flipped to the end of his books, something his mother used to do. Publishing it in installments meant that fans would have to wait for the last installment to find out the ending. King wrote each one with its own miniature climax, but even he admitted he did not have a clue how the story would end.
Wow. Yes, G-Fo. I love Morgan Freeman's voice. He does have a great voice for narrations. I love
D-
everything he's narrated.
Him and James Earl Jones. I can't
Yeah.
think
Oh
of
my
any other
gosh.
two.
I love James Earl Jones. I guess I didn't realize they made another Lion King. And I guess the Lion King movie. I think you were talking about it, and
Yeah,
it
it's
was
a live action.
and I wish he was alive and he could have done the voice of
Yeah,
Mufasa in that movie.
yeah, he
I
did
guess
really good. No, and he was also in The Sandlot. He
yes,
was the
I
blind
love
man in The Sandlot. And
yes. And one of my favorite movies, um, Coming to America,
yeah,
with
he
Eddie
was in that
Murphy
as
and
well.
James Earl
Wow.
Jones. I love that movie. One of my favorites. Yeah, Ken says he was 6'5".
Oh, and Michael Duncan was also in Armageddon, and Bruce
Oh wow,
Willis was the one who suggested him for the coffee role.
wow.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yes,
The
Field of
prison
Dreams.
guards wear uniforms to give the movie an authentic feel, even though uniforms were not in use at the time in which the movie is set. The book states that all the guards were in uniform when they were working the mile. How about that?
Wow.
Tom Hanks stayed in character as Paul Edgecombe whenever Stephen King visited the set. King asked him if he would like to sit in Old Sparky, but Hank refused since he is in charge of the block. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure they would have had him narrate for Mustafa because he was Mustafa in the animated
Right, yeah.
um parts.
Oh man. I could go on and on about the trivia in this and uh you know all the things about it, but I'll give you a couple quotes real quick and then we'll get to the end because we're running out of time here. um, Old man Paul Edgecombe, we we each owe a death. There are no exceptions, but oh God, sometimes the Green Mile seems so long. So
Yeah.
you know, it just makes me think by the time that you're ready to, or by the time that you are supposed to die, you'll be ready for it. It seems, right? You know,
Yeah.
that's a good way to look at it. Here's that part I was quoting earlier. It said, Paul, on the day of my judgment, when I stand before God and he asks me, why did I kill one of his true miracles? What am I going to say? That it was my job? My job? John Coffey, you tell God the Father it was a kindness you done. I know you're hurting and worrying. I can feel it on you, but you ought to quit on it now because I want it over and done. I do. I'm tired, boss. Tired of being on the road, lonely as a sparrow in the rain. Tired of not ever having me a buddy to be with or tell me where we's coming from or where we going to or why. Mostly I'm tired of people being ugly to each other. I'm tired of all the pain I feel and I hear in the world every day. There's too much of it. It's like pieces of glass in my head all the time. Can you understand? Yes, John, I think I can.
Yeah.
That's one thing that stuck with me through that I remembered.
Yeah. I that was a great line. Okay, everybody's saying bucket list in in the chat. Should we watch Bucket List with Morgan Freeman and
I love it. What a great movie that we've been rolling around the bucket list for a while now. So I'm really excited for us to actually hit that. Absolutely. 100% chat. What a pick.
yeah.
What a pick. Bucket
Yes.
list it is.
Tired of people being ugly to each other. Yes. And
Yeah, that's a good one.
that's why I always I've been saying don't wake up and choose violence, choose kindness because we need more kindness in this world.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. John Coffey, he said, you can't hide what's in your heart. And if you're
Love it.
good, it'll come out. If you're bad, it'll come out. I just can't see God putting a gift like that in the hands of a man who would kill a child. Mm. There's a lot of quotes in here, man. Go read your IMDb page, guys. Get on the IMDb with me from time to time, and we'll enjoy it. But nonetheless, that's all I got for you today, guys, on the Green Mile. I really, oh man, I wish we had more time to talk about this one, but we don't. We're running out.
So next
So,
week, Bucket List with Morgan Freeman. I forget who else is in that movie, but
it is what's his name? Here's Johnny, Jack Nicholas.
oh yeah, okay, all
Or
right.
no, Jack Nicholson. Not Jack Nicholas is a golfer.
Yes, yes, that's right. I forgot. Okay, the riddle of the night, you guys. What tastes better than it smells?
Um, beans? Come on, that's true. That's true. No matter what end they're coming out of.
What tastes better than it smells? I like beans. Not rye bread. Rye bread.
Um, revenge.
A tongue.
Oh my.
I knew Blake was gonna give me that look. All right, Blake. A
Shame on
tongue.
you.
A tongue, people. Yeah. What
Hey
tastes
guys,
better
real
than it
quick
smells?
before we go, like I said, I said at the beginning. Now that we got the whole thing, you guys need to go check out this TV show. It's called Snowfall. If you haven't already, I totally recommend it. It's the most I've since Breaking Bad, nothing has really gripped my attention like this. So it's really good. Go check it out.
Yeah. It's okay, people. I find these goofy jokes, but anyway. Thank you everyone for being interactive in the chat. It makes it so much easier for me. Thank you, Jifo, for putting that down as well. And remember, you're all beautiful inside and out. Don't let anyone make you think differently. And the quote of the night is from Tecumseh: "A single twig breaks, but a bundle of twigs is strong." Great
That's
quote for
right.
tonight.
Yeah.
Have a great
Go
night,
Ravens,
everybody.
baby. Let's go. Going all the way.
Have a
See you
good night.
guys.
Bye.